Amigos, happy weekend and a happy Halloween. Today, we are gonna talk about a cool new feature added in Copilot Studio that can help you let your AI agents execute Python code to perform complex tasks like data analysis, generating visualizations, and processing files such as Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and PDF. It improvises agents by providing deterministic, reliable results for tasks that might have been otherwise unpredictable for generative AI alone, enabling them to write and run code in a secure sandbox environment to handle complex mathematical problems and data updates. Requesting you to watch the video till the end and like and subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so. You can start by visiting Power Platform Admin Center. And if you go on the left hand section, you'd see this Copilot, and inside this, the settings. And if you click on settings, you'd see here code generation and execution in Copilot Studio. So if I click on this, I can select here the environment or the instance for which I want to make this code generation enabled in Copilot Studio. For me, I'm choosing this environment and I'm clicking on Add. So here in a couple of moments, I'll be shown this prompt where it says like, do I need to enable the code generation and execution in Copilot Studio? I can leave it as turned on, and if I don't want, I can turn it off and I can save. I'm not doing anything. I'm just canceling and come back. So once this is done, I need to check a few more things. Once that is done, let's go to Copilot Studio. Here is an agent which I have created, an agent that can help questions and answering questions on various HR activities. Say, for example, if you're asking uh, your team's attendance on a given date, how your team is attending over a month, all these things. So for that, I have created this agent. I have given a fanciful name called HR on Teams. So I'm clicking on settings and ensure that you have turned on that the generative AI as yes. And right here at the bottom, there is something known as a file uploads and code interpreter. We have to turn it on as well. So once you have turned it on, one more thing that you have to check that is this has also been included as a part of code interpreter. So if you go to Power Apps prompts, so if you create a new prompt, so say for example, I have created a new prompt for analyze attendance register. So here inside instructions, you'd see this three dots here. If you click on more, you'd see the settings. So once you see the settings, you go down and see the enable code interpreter. You have to keep this enabled as well. Let me show you what it all means when you are activating the code interpreter on a prompt. So I have defined a very simple prompt out here whereby it's going to receive a file from the user, a file that contains the names of the employees, their clock in and clock out time, and the time difference between this clock in and clock out times. So I have asked this prompt to identify that if for any given row, for any given employee, if the number of hours is less than 8 for any employee, to flag that record and highlight the row in red, add a comment explaining low on attendance. And I've also asked it to generate a summary report that lists out the total flagged transactions, the employee names, the names for which these transactions were flagged, and reasons for flagging. So, and just not that, it can also return the updated file that it can also help you download a file that contains these details. And this file is going to be downloaded as an Excel file. So if I am going to show you a sample file, so here is a sample file. As I was saying, it contains the employees' names, their clock in and clock out, and the difference in the hours. So difference in the hours means like, is the employee doing anything that is related to work or just was sitting idle or not on his seat? all these things. Basically, it is monitoring and recording the same in this column. So I am going to input this file as an input in my prompt, and let's see what it does. So here in my prompt, I am just uploading this file. I'm uploading this document, and let's see here. I'm just clicking on test to see what does the prompt response. And yes, it came out with a response saying that total flagged transactions, there were 4 flagged employees for whom there were low attendances. And it's saying that updated file was flagged, has flagged rows highlighted in a red with comments added. So if you go to this run details, you will see like the nature of the code execution. So essentially, what it is doing is that it is trying to understand your uploaded files records in the form of a Python D frame, that is Python's data frame execution, and trying to get the details of its execution and taking you in a form of a results that are in the form of insights and the plots and curves and histograms in whichever way you call it. So let me go back to my topic, to my agent, and see how can I call this. So here is a topic which I've called, which I've created, and I'm calling like, I've given a name like daily attendance flags. And what I'm doing is that I'm trying to call this prompt from here. So this prompt is coming from here. And if I am going to say, so basically, okay, let me show you like this is what it is doing. It's analyzing flags for the day. If you are going to ask any question like this, like, can you tell me what are the flags that you have identified for the day or just attendance flags? So if you say questions like this, it's going to analyze the file that you're going to upload and going to come back to you with results. So let me run this in my test tab. I'm just giving this and let's see what it comes back with. So it is generating the plan, and you see not that this is a newly added feature which whereby it's going to show you the stack trace of its call, and it is how it is converting the call into a Python's execution mode. So it's asking me to please upload the file here. So I'm just uploading the file here directly, and here we go. Let's see what comes. And I'm just waiting for the answer, and it's showing as in progress. And just not that it's showing as code preview. So if you click on code preview, it's going to show you the details of the code, like it's analyzing the data that you have uploaded, and it's going to transform the uploaded data's files data into a data frame, and it's going to go through all those details of this records and going to do the needful. So let's wait till the results come up. And yes, finally the results came. So it's showing the code preview. Code preview is, as I was saying, that automatically is going to generate all the methods that are necessary for looping through your records that you have uploaded and doing the execution as needed. And here is the results. It's saying like these are the employees that are having insufficient hours. There is no missing time in or timeout values that were detected. Like all the employees did time in on the correct time and they all of them do have some timeout, but maybe there were insufficient hours for them. So you can click on this code so as to find out this prompt that's showing that this is the details of these are the details of the methods that were generated, and you can go all the way down and you can find out like what are the flow of the methods, what are the stack trace of the methods, how are the methods called, and all that you needed to know. So that was one example by which you can click on, you can talk to your HR. HR can expose this channel on our Teams chat, or you can expose this channel as a SharePoint channel, or you can also expose this channel in as a live agent from another agent or from another chatbot. So that was one example. Apart from that, let me show you one more prompt which I created. So here is something known as a very simple plot, known as a sales order plot, which I have given a name like this, whereby I am talking to the Dataverse tables. So these are my sales order tables, and this is a customer account and sales order tables, sales order ID. That is the sales ID. I want to find out like what are the customers who had created which orders over which time, and I want to find out the result as a base 64 encoded image and a summary of insights. So I have this is what I have asked the asked the uh, prompt, and not to mention that I have given here in settings. Under the settings, I have enabled code interpreter, and I'm just clicking on test and finding out like what is the result that comes out. And yes, finally the results came showing a plot of the sales orders for each customer accounts that are there. And just not that, there is a key insight. There is another section called key insights where it is containing the number of customers in the data set with the total numbers of sales orders. How much is each customer having on an average? How much is each customer having the count of sales orders on an average? And what are the top three customers that have created the maximum of sales orders? So I can keep on adding more and more fields out here to make my plots be much more efficient, much more to the point, much more vivid, much more elaborative. So I all I just need to do is that I can just write a slash and go here, right, select down here my dataverse, and I can select dataverse, whichever field that I want to include here, which whatever tables fields that I want to include here. So all these are virtual fields, and virtual fields you can also add filters to your table. So say for example here my customer accounts, I can add more filters. For example, there is no filter here. I can select filter attribute like this, and I can give a filter attribute like sales customer account. So I'm selecting customer account here, and I'm also selecting the filter value as hyphen 1001. Like that, I can also keep on adding. Uh, okay. So just I'm not going to save anything because I don't want to commit my changes here. And let me go back to my agent and let's call this prompt from my agent and see what happens. I have created a very simple topic called Get Sales Order Plot, where it just listens to any questions like sales to customer plot or sales order insights. Whenever it confronts questions like this, it gets activated and tries to answer this. So as a next step, I'm just calling my action, the flow for sales plot, which is a very simple flow where I'm calling the Power Apps prompt, which I was showing you. So given this, if I'm going to call this, if I'm going to test this from my test test pane, if I'm going to ask a question like this, sales order insights, and let's see what happens. It's going to once again call this through the stack of the action plans and the Python scripts, and let's wait and let's find out what's the agent says. So it says like total sales orders equal to this, unique customers are 29, and top customer is equals to DE. So like this, it's going to give you a fair breakdown of the insights of the execution of the flow that you just created by just turning on the code interpreter. So it's an amazing feature, and it's just the tip of the iceberg. And let me come back with a couple of more such shows whereby I can show you how deep you can take the code interpreter, and you can bring up as much of detailed descriptions, elaborations of your ERP. Say, for example, by asking like, can you show me what are the pending sales order for this customer? How many are shipped but not invoiced for this purchase order? Or how many customers are having an overload of balance who have not been paying well? So all these details you can invent as much of data in your prompt, in your prompt as much as possible without writing a single line of Python script, but yet allowing the Copilot to do it on your behalf and translating your input as Python scripts to do the needful. So this was just the start, and you can go down as much as deep into the rabbit hole and let me know how do you think about this. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Keep in touch. Much love. Signing off, Subhashish.